Hello again, my name is Steve Mepstead, and in this, the fourth and final part of my interview with Philip Castle, we discussed designing album covers for The Rolling Stones, Pulp, Wings and David Bowie, on photographing Jack Nicholson, on Tim Burtons' Mars Attacks, RAF aeroplanes, and also his tentative relationship with computer-aided design techniques and his proudest moments. But first, working on a David Bowie album.
I did a little bit on the Aladdin Sane album. I just did a teardrop in his clavicle. Duffy, the photographer, put me in to do it.
Yes.
Pulp used that for an album cover. But I think it may have been a 7-inch or something.
Right.
It would be a CD, would it? A CD cover. Right. But it was from a series of a calendar for some sort of shampoo. I did a poster called Goin South.
Yes.
And
so that's your shot.
So that's doing the.
He's giving you the look.
But he's dressed. It was during The Shining at the time, and so he's in the shirt and everything.
Yeah. He's got that look, hasn't he? There's that eyebrow, so brilliant.
That was the point. I needed to get that for the poster.
Was he gracious and nice?
It's very nice. It's just exactly as you get him on the movies.
Yeah.
There's no acting involved, to be honest. He just comes on and bees himself.
He's bonkers, isn't he? Philip loves aeroplanes, and this is evident in his designs for the RAF air tattoo, posters and banners that hang proudly in his home.
This is one of my RAF.
Oh, this is more recent.
2008.
Right.
And I did 3. I did 07, 08 and 09.
Yes.
And 07 was a big success.
Yes.
That was this poster. I did 09.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do 2010 and I didn't do 2011.
Right.
So
I'm heartened to hear that people still want to hire illustrators because so much photographic work is there.
It's very hard now. I think you have to be quirky because what I do is more or less been taken over by anybody who has Photoshop. Just putting your photographs together and put some crazy writing on it and you're away. My Mars Attacks.
Tim Burton, yes, Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Gosh. And that Mick Jagger as well.
Mick Jagger, that was for It's Only Rock and Roll. Do you remember that?
I do. Oh yeah. What piece of work do you feel most proud of?
I'm necessarily proud of these 2 key Kubrick posters, naturally. But I never thought they were my best work. I think one of my airshow posters, the first, Air Tattoo 67, I liked very much. It was something I really put my heart and soul into. And I did an Elvis. And it's the Elvis, I don't know if you're familiar with it, it's a half-man, half jukebox. You know? And it was very early on in my career.
But it must have been a thrill to get that phone call from Stanley Kubrick.
Well, and my 2 favourite films certainly at that time were 2001 and Dr. Strangelove. Dr. Strangelove has to be one of my best favourite top 10 films. And just to say that Stanley Kubrick was interested in would you be interested in doing these posters? There's no question, obviously, that would be the case.
Did you go to art college? Were you self-taught, self-trained?
I went first to Huddersfield School of Art.
Huddersfield School of Art?
Huddersfield,
excuse me.
And then I went to the Royal College of Art. I was at RCA from 64 to 67.
Right. Do you use computers at all, Mr. Castle? Would you?
I have a Mac and I've used Photoshop. I absolutely love it. I adore it. But it has put me out of work. So the only thing that would differ would be my eye or my own design sense, the design requirements. And as my equipment's not very sophisticated. It's getting old a bit now, anyway. I'm not making any money in computer graphics. I'm just not fluent enough in producing works on a computer. I mean, nowadays you see aeroplane pictures which are just mind-blowing. They're just fantastic. They're dead accurate. They're well constructed in graphically, and I'm so impressed. I almost sit down and say, "Well, forget it, I don't anymore." But I'd love to be in that position when I was doing a job and I actually got models and things that I used to do when I was painting these things, and I could certainly work on it and make an exciting picture. I know I could do it, but I haven't done it, and until you've got an example, you can only claim that you could do it. And I just can't get myself together to learn the ropes. There seem to be so many ropes involved that I've not done it.
Well, still time.
Well, I guess so, yeah. The people who are now hiring are getting to their own age group. They're not interested in an old fart. And they would think that I was so expensive or something that I wouldn't be interested in. So, it does. You've got to put yourself up and say, look, I'm available, I want to, I should get myself together and do that. And I realise that. But I'm enjoying not doing anything else. So.
Do you have an agent?
No, I've had loads of agents. I didn't. I went a long time without an agent, and then when things started getting a bit more difficult, I did have an agent. But I find that they get you work for maybe a couple of jobs, and then they lose a bit of interest. They lose interest because they can't point you in a certain direction. They don't seem to stick.
Well, all I can say is that I think your achievements are manifest in those film posters, the album covers. You've done work that a lot of other illustrators, certainly graphic designers and illustrators and up-and-coming ones and young people know about your work and appreciate your work. And I would certainly say that you've got a bit of a legacy going on there. Yeah,
well, absolutely. I guess I know people keep saying you should have a website and everything, and I've had certain people saying, we'd like to do a website and put it all together and put it on, and that would be great. And then some of those things that sort of fade away.
Do you have anything else you would like to add before we close?
Well, I enjoyed. These are terrific, exciting projects to work on. I was very pleased to get any film work. The Kubrick legacy, it greets me wherever I go. The man who did Clockwork and everything. And so I'm eternally grateful. It's fantastic. It's opened a lot of doors and people treat with respect, and I've had goes at film posters for Warner's, but it's difficult. I knew how to talk to Julian Senior and Stanley and Mike Kaplan, and somehow things have moved on in 30 years, and so. Work that I did in 2000. I had two films then to do. One was I did Mars Attacks, and that worked out. And then I did two other films. One was Analyse This, and the other film was I filmed on a hairdresser. A wonderful English film. completely thrown away. And it has been on television, you know, but it's really funny, and it was really great film. I really hoped for it, and I can't remember what the title was. Oh, The Big Tease, I think it's called. And I just would supply these three drawings, and they couldn't understand. They weren't interested in it, and so it didn't die. It died. But I can recommend The Big Tease. Analyse this it's actually funny. It's not a bad film at all.
And you did the poster for that?
No, I didn't do it. I did some. I got as far as producing ideas.
Yeah, because that's the thing. There's so much photo. Because I remember the poster for that being a photograph.
That's right.
And
exactly.
That's what I was asking you earlier. Was that photographic over the graphic?
They are photos now, and it makes a lot of sense to me. It's a shame. I mean, some great film posters have been paintings, but it's some photographic. You know, the result's photographic. People can recognise the star. Now with Photoshop, they can do fantastic things to enhance pictures. And I think there's some really super posters come out for lousy films or poor films with lovely posters. And there's so many. I mean, there must be, half a dozen a week at least, per week. And when you think at the end of the year how many that gleans, well, over 10, 20 years, that's a fantastic amount of material, a fantastic amount of designs. A rotten film is Gone in 60 seconds. It's cars. But the poster is super. I think it's lovely. I see them in, you know, when you go to the picture, you pick up the what used to be the ABC Film Review. It's now some sort of glossy thing, but it has all these posters in it. And I looked at it, that's beautiful. You know, I wouldn't have done that, but it actually works great. And then you go to see the film, and it's a flat thing, and it's gross, and you know. Not always, but you know.
I remember. I've got Gone in 60 Seconds. It's in my head. Actually, it is a good poster.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really great. I was really moved by it. But the film itself is tedious.
Yeah, I agree. Nicolas Cage is trying to pay off his debts.
Yes, that's right.
Well, Philip, I can't thank you enough. It's absolutely fascinating talking to you.
Yeah,
and thank you for. I never expected to see some original artwork, but thank you so much. It's been an absolute joy for me.
Very good.